Hello YouTube world. Today we have yet another video. We'll be going over stocks and bonds. It's Sunday. The market is closed, but at the same time, we can have a pretty good idea on how the market is going to take place. This stock is called Zyme Works Inc. And I believe they do a lot of research that involves cancer. This one caught my eye because this stock is going fairly cheap, $16.60 a share. And at closing hours, they're up 44%. And even during the after hours, they're still up 0.33%. Even though this company doesn't necessarily pay dividends as an appreciation, but at the same time, it's just still a pretty good stock to look into. So let's dive right into it. Remember, like I said, the line right here in the middle will determine how the stock is going to do. And these lower lines right here are just basically saying this is the lowest point to buy the stock right before it rises up. And remember, green is to buy, red is to sell. And at the same time, anything above the 1634 and underneath the 1649, as you can see, green is to buy, red is to sell. Now let's look to see how the stock is going to do for the rest of the week. I believe there's like 4 weeks left in the month. At the same time, let's see. Green is to buy, red is to sell. It takes a major dip right here at this point, but at the same time, it jumps from here back on the line and all the way down for the dip, right? But what ended up happening is the buy and the sell. This is the buying part right here, and so it shoots all the way up. You see that? It goes all the way past the 1650 mark, which is exactly what we want to look out for. Now, let's see how it goes for the rest of the month, which is about a few more days left. This is the buying entry right here. It went from right here to all the way down, right? And this is to where it's possible that the stock price Could go lower. But we never really know until, when the market opens and see how the stock is doing, you see. But this is the buying power right here, and it rides all the way up. I believe the difference is, it's called the bullish and the pull. But this middle line right here is all what you want to pay attention to right there. It's definitely the determining factor in which the stock is going to go in particular. Let's see what it looks like for the next 3 months. Yep, and as you can see, the buying power is right here and it rises. Now the good thing about this is you can hold right here in this particular area, but at the same time, it does take a major dip, a pretty huge dip. But once it takes that dip, it immediately shoots right back up, right where the profit margin is. And anything above this line right here, well, the lines that's going up, all this right here is the profit margin. You see, it's the profit margin. And that's exactly what we want to see, once we start doing stocks and bonds, right? And always pay attention to this middle line right here. You see, because green is to buy, red is to sell. Let's take a look for the next 6 months. You see, as you can see, this stock right here looks, quite well. A lot of buying power right here. It's good to have, stocks that people are interested in, and it's always good to make sure that your stock is profitable. Without profit, what's the point of investing, right? And here it is right here, the moment of truth, right? Now, let's look to see how it looks for the following year. And as you can see, it shows a great pool, great profit margin right here. Even as it goes down here and back up, buy into sell. You can definitely sell at this area right here and watch it go all the way down. And this is the bottom part right here. This is where you want to pay the most attention to, because right here is, again, the buying power. Right where we need it to be. And it shoots all the way up, but it does take a small dip, right? And the small dip is because it got to do a lot of research and see how it looks. And so it goes all the way up right here. This is the buying power right there. You see? But then it takes another dip right here in this area, and it goes all the way back up. Always pay attention to what's the focus is, the buying power. And the buying power is right here. And it shoots all the way up. Let's take a look for the next 2 years. You see, as you can see, it takes just a small dip right here, but at the same time, it shoots all the way up. You see, it shoots all the way up. Bro, ain't nobody even online checking this out. But the buying power again is right here. Now it shows you a little leeway, a little landmark right there, right where it's going to be at the buying power. But right here, it's most definitely where it shoots back up. And always remember, green is to buy, red is to sell. You see? And what you always want to do is you always want to pay attention how the stock is doing, how to read the stock, right? But at the same time, right here is the buying power and what you want to look at. And it shoots all the way up past this middle line. And this is all profitable right here, all up in this area. You see? Because at the same time, even though it takes a small dip right here, it always seems to bounce back. And the bounce back part is right here in this area. That is definitely the buying power and what you want to pay attention to. Green is to buy, red is to sell, right? So let's take a look for the next 5 years. Now, I didn't even see this one coming. It takes a major hit, a major fall. Right there is a major fall, you know. This is definitely the point where you want to sell the stock, right? Red is to sell. And once you get the hang of it, right, you'll see exactly what's going on. There's definitely not a whole lot of profit within the next 5 years, which is, that's okay. It's no big deal. But for the next 10 years, you see, this is the lowest point of the stock, right? Because of this line right there. It's just the lowest point of the stock. And this is pretty much where you want to buy the stock at, right here. Right around the 219. And it shoots all the way up. Green is to buy, red is to sell. And at the same time, you see, this middle line right here, this one's definitely what you want to pay attention to. And right here, if you can see this line at the bottom, right here is pretty much the end mark. Right before, when you line it up, right before you realize what's going to happen. Unfortunately, this stock doesn't pay a dividend, which is okay. But let's just move on to the next one. Turn on this light real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, sir. This stock is Zscaler. They're going for $2.94.65 a share. And at closing point, they're up 7.99. After hours, they're up 0.47. Again, this stock doesn't pay no dividends. But I believe this stock focused more on like applications for the internet, which is definitely something to look forward to. But let's dive right into it. What we want to do is pay attention to this middle line right here, right above the 291 and then below the 294. And the reason why you see these double lines at the bottom, especially this top one, is because this is right here, the lowest mark of the buying power right there, right around the 10. And so it shoots all the way up. This is the lowest point, but it shoots all the way up right there, as you can see, right? Because of the double line right there. It doesn't touch this line, so it goes all the way up. Remember, green is to buy, red is to sell. And it definitely goes above this middle line right here. Yeah. Let's take a look for the rest of the week. Even though there's only like a few days, a couple more days in this month. But basically, right, this line right here go all the way across. Now this bottom line does shows us that the lowest point to buy is right there. Which is a good thing because green is to buy, red is to sell. You want to always pay attention to, how the stock is doing. So what you end up doing is you just read the stock. Green is to buy, red is to sell. Now, let's take a look to see how it looks for the rest of the month. And this is the line right here in the middle that you always want to pay attention to. Because it has to go past this middle line in order to really, really see up any kind of profit, right? And you can sell right here in this area because it's going down, and small up, small down, right? But the biggest moves that you want to pay attention to is right here, right around the 3, right there. What ended up happening is that it shoots all the way up past this middle line, and all this ride right here is nothing but profit, right? Even at this small point right here, the profit margin is still right here. And so that's all that it really does. It's just a lot of like up and down, up and down. And this is the buying power right there. A small little dip. You see? Now let's take a look for the next 3 months. Now it takes a major dip right here. And hopefully around this time the stock price will definitely lessen, average cost dollar. But it takes a major dip all the way down. And around this time, you could want to sell the stock. You could want to sell it, right? Because it still takes a major dip. I believe it's called the pull or the bearish, right? But at the same time, this is where it looks like it could be the lowest point before it shoots all the way back up. Now for the next 6 months, you see that line right here. This is the buying power. And as you can see, it shoots all the way up. And this is a lot of profit right here because, green is to buy, red is to sell. And you can't go wrong with all this buying power right here. Definitely something to look forward to. Now let's look to see how it does for the rest of the year. You see, green is to buy, red is to sell. And at the same time, this is the lowest point of the stock. And these are all just predictions, all just predictions. But it shoots all the way up right here. And that's exactly what we wanted to do, right? Because this middle line definitely tells the best story. Now, let's take a look for the next 2 years. Always pay attention to the graph right here and right on top. You see? Because always the stock will never, tell a lie, right? And this is where you could sell at this point right here. That could be the selling point, right? But at the same time, with the dip, it doesn't really dip off too short, and it doesn't really dip off for too long because of the line that goes through right here. And the lowest point of this stock is right here before it takes off for the profit. We always want to invest in stocks that we can make a profit off of. And this middle line right there in the middle is always the determining factor. So let's take a look for the next 5 years. Yeah, this stock is, this reading is all over the place. But at the same time, pay attention to what it's doing. It's definitely making moves right here, right? And you can keep buying all the way up until right here. And you're not necessarily losing money if you see it come down here, right? But you could want to sell just in case, right where it breaks even, or right where, right before you lose too much of your profit. You see? And this is the lowest mark right here, and it goes all the way back up. It shoots all the way back up. And that's a good thing because, you always want to have your stocks doing well and making profit, Makes a small little dip right here, but it bounces all the way back up. See, for the next 10 years, you see, green is to buy, red is to sell. And as long as this line right here is above the middle, as long as this stock or this graph is above the middle, this middle line right here, it's always good, because we want to make profit no matter what happens. And the buying power is here, shoots up. Buying power is still in this area, and it shoots up. I'll take a look for the overall performance, in which it looks very, very, very healthy. No denying that. Green is to buy, red is to sell. And it definitely shows off where you want it to go. The buying power is right here, and it rides this wave all the way up. You could sell right there, right? But you want to always make sure that you read the stock real carefully and properly. And you can always ride this buying power right here to go all the way up. But just always pay attention to this middle line. You see, buying power right there. And you can always take out possibly right there. I would like to say thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, keep investing.